I want to ask one time, do you listen to a rap song, explicit version, in your car by yourself and say every word? Yes or no?
I never say the N-word when I'm listening to a rap song.
When you're in a fucking car by your goddamn self.
No, I always
nobody would know.
I catch myself, so I always catch myself to not say it, even though I want to.
No, fuck that. No, I know they say it. I know you say it. I know everybody fucking said it once in their life. I don't care. Fuck you. If you don't fucking like what I have to say, you don't show up. Don't ever come here. And if you have a problem with it and you want to actually have a conversation about it, have the conversation. But don't get mad if I fucking fact check you. So, welcome to the Ray Podcast. I'm your host, Terry, and your straightforward foul-mouthed guide through this episode, who's always digging deep to make sense of the madness, alongside my co-host, Mr. Savage. He's the kind of guy who keeps it cool no matter the storm, delivering sharp, independent analysis without letting outside noise throw him off. And while he's not one to dominate the conversation, his insights are pretty intriguing. You know, sometimes he gives you a little something, sometimes he gives you a little spice, sometimes he just says, It drives me up a goddamn wall. But yeah, but we're here this week. We're going to start unpacking the stories that happened from December 10th till today, actually. And we're going to have a good time with it and have our own standpoints on it and things like that. So you have comments, concerns, things like that, say it. You know, do the thing. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, do those things. But yeah, before we kick it off, how you doing, Savage? How's your day been?
Good. Been busy with the job, you know. I've been really busy, you know. My days start off a little later in the day for now. I'll be adjusting within at least a month. I'll be adjusting back to normal times. So right now I start like at 10. And then I don't usually get home until like 6 or 7. Late days it might be like 8. But yeah, so it's been busy. It's been good, you know. Days go by super quick, and I like it. More hours, more pay, more money in the pocket.
There ain't nothing wrong with more money, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with it. Especially not doing anything nefarious, but to get it. That's a fucking fantastic time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
How was you? What did you do today?
Like I said earlier, just did some things with the podcast Discord, merch, thumbnails, getting ready for the upcoming episode because we did Bang Down Under last week. And then you know, did some house cleaning, you know, as you like to say. It's house cleaning, getting rid of some people that weren't in it to win it and didn't want to deal with the, you know, actual people being themselves.
Okay.
So, you know, we just did it that way. But we had a good time, man. I had a good time today. Hung out with Jimmy, hung out with Calvin, and, you know, we talked about life, like always, and, you know, some of our extreme sides of things that we can't say. So, you know, now we get those standpoints. Maybe a Patreon episode with all three of us there, but we don't know yet. Also, you know, been talking to Anthony Dyer, who I did the episode with him, talking about, you know, what's the word for it? I had it in my head and I lost his transition from the military life to civilian sector, going through addiction, how he found faith, things like that. And we're going to do another one with him. Well, I'm going to do a one-on-one with him because I said I want to sit down and talk to you about a lot of things in depth and actually not have a time limit. And he's like, that's fine. He's like, it's just me and you. I just want to do it, me and you. Just let me know a date. And he said, the 27th. I said, cool. He said, yeah. He said, we'll do it that way. I said, cool. It's going to be recorded. It's not going to be live. So sorry, anybody who wants to watch it. It's not. There's going to be a handful of people that'll be in the audience for that. They won't be interacting. They'll just be watching because I want their standpoints on it. And just some of their questions would be more deep, you know. So there'll be a couple things like that. So it'll be a fun time.
Nice.
So yeah. So have you been keeping up with what's been going on in the world this week?
No, like I said, man, I've been so busy with work. I get home and I don't want to deal with anything in the world. I just want to relax. I'm sure people that work, you know, full-time jobs, like, you know, really work over the 40 hours a week. Because I work 6 days now, 6 out of the 7 days a week. And I'm working at least 6 to 8 hours, maybe 10 hours a day. So by the time I get home, I'm tired. I just want to relax, sit back, play some games, hang out with the fiance. So I haven't really been keeping up as I used to, but yeah.
Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. So we'll start with December 10th, little doozy. So military airstrike on civilians, December 10th, 2025. So, you know, I want to say it's called Myanmar. We're going to put it on the screen for you whenever we get this done. Myanmar junta bombed a crowded tea shop in Sagaing.
Hmm.
Yeah, Sagaing. It was completely obliterating and explosions that dismembered victims, including women and children,
Hmm.
as part of suppressing anti-regime forces. Though they did to suppress them. So I don't know if you know what's going on in the world. There's a lot of fucking chaos going on in the world this
I
week
did hear.
alone.
I did hear something about like a couple days ago. Was it a beach shooting?
That's Bondi Beach. We're gonna get to that in a little bit.
Okay, so
There's a
that
backup for that
I
one.
did hear about that one. I was like, wow, that's crazy because I seen the videos on it and everything. It was pretty rough.
So the thing about this, like I did the stats on this one because it's like, okay, cool, a bombing happened, and how many people were injured. So that there weren't a lot of people that had verified, this. And I finally got the numbers yesterday. It was 18 civilians killed, 20 wounded. Like these are between men, women, and children. So it's one of those things. It sucks, and like everybody asks. Some people ask, "Why am I doing this?" Because you need to know how it's going to affect the U.S. too.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of us here from the U.S. Most of us want to know why do we care. It's because it may boost U.S. humanitarian aid and sanctions. So between people from here going to go there to humanitarian aid means they could be in the line of fire, things like that. It can affect trades. It can affect politics. Especially influenced by Trump's Asia policy. It's going to influence that a lot.
Yeah.
Because why are we going to trade with people that keep bombing everybody? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. It's crazy over there, and it's insane the level of what's the right word for it? The
Casualties.
level of no, it's not casualties because there's casualties with any conflict, no matter what you do,
Yeah.
and you can't change that no matter what
Mm-hmm.
either.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be one of those things that it's going to put a damper on it because, security wise, it contributes to regional instability, which that itself kind of impacts U.S. and China's fucking dynamics already. And they're kind of not the best of friends right now. And we owe them fucking money.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We owe them a lot of our debt to them.
So number two, the attack on U.S. soldiers and interpreter in Syria. That one fucking pissed me off the other fucking day because when I found
Mm.
out about it, that happened on December 13th. And it's fucking crazy because during a joint patrol near Palmyra, and that's the central Syria area, it's suspected of Islamic State gunmen who ambushed the U.S. troops. There's two U.S. troops and one interpreter. And they were killed. So it's one of those things that like, look, man, like y'all don't know Islamic State it's ISIS. Okay, that's ISIS. And how the fuck is it that they're still doing this shit? Like
Yeah.
Syria has a good strong connection to the US. We have the US bases there, we help coordinate things. Why are you gonna do the one thing that's gonna be like, did you see what we did to you all last time? Kind of things.
Exactly.
She's like, you think we're gonna fight you like, we're gonna just send troops there. It's like, we're gonna bomb your fucking asses.
Yeah.
That's it. Because like as soon as we find out where you are, we're like, oh, they're there. And then they do the math, like, are these people casualties? Are these people combatants? And the moment we find out lean one way or the other, then we make a choice,
Yeah.
They go through, JSOC, special forces, things like that. It's like, we'll just take them down that way. Because, it pisses me off a lot because dealing with things like that. Because before that, they were warned that there was possible terroristic activity going on. There's supposed to be a chance of an attack, and it bothers me that they went out in such a light patrol, in a light way. But yeah, it frustrates the fuck out of me. But the attacker was killed. He was, and yeah, it's one of those things of I wish he wouldn't have been, so they can question him and figure out, was it, ISIS
Yeah.
or was it not? It's kind of one of those things,
Yeah.
I,
You
I'd
wanted to find
rather,
out more if it was like a solo act or if it was a
right.
group effort.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like just need to know. The information is kind of needed there.
Mm-hmm.
So the two U.S. soldiers that were killed were Sergeant Edgar Bryan Torres, and so Sergeant Edgar Bryan.
Mm.
So yeah, he was 25 from Iowa. He was National Guard. And Torres Tover, I think he also was 25 from the Iowa National Guard too. One U.S. civilian interpreter was killed, and his name was Ayad Sakat. He was a father of four from Michigan. So he was, like I said, these were U.S.
Yeah.
citizens too. On top of that, it 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 frustrates me a lot. I got off my fucking anger that day when it happened. I messaged my buddy Wit, and he's like, I was like, "Have you seen this yet?" He's like, "Seen what?" And I sent it to him. He's like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, they don't fucking learn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's frustrating. It really is. That sucks, Father of four now, all those kids,
Yeah.
especially,
Yeah, it's crazy. It sucks so much, but that right there will just heighten the effects of the U.S. It'll just heighten, the risk for U.S. troops abroad, prompting, President Trump to, you know, review Syria's presence and potential maybe even withdraw totally. If like, we're here to make sure everything's good, and we're here to work together. And if you're not here to make sure that we're good too and taking it seriously with these threats and everything like that, then what are we doing? But it's going to politically affect everything. It did. Like Trump came out and said, "We will find you." In the story, he doesn't play. He doesn't do the fucking wordsmith games very much, and I think it's funny. I like it a lot. But yeah, it makes people think like, oh, it's going to be an Afghanistan thing again, and I don't think it will. Not yet, at least. No
Yeah.
matter what, I don't think it will yet. If there's more things like this happening, then yeah, I think there's going to be a push for more troops to be put over there. They have a good number of troops over there already too, because there's
Mm-hmm.
two bases. I can't remember the name of the bases in Syria, but there's two bases over there, and it's a good way of reinforcing everything and making sure everyone's taken care of. Like 'cause especially you have good rapport with each other, and like you will help each other, and like for Afghanistan, they kind of came in clutch here and there sometimes, but it's just going to be a problem later on if it continues. Another one, I don't know if anybody's ever kept track of this. I've asked people about it, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Everything going down in Venezuela right now.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Venezuela, because we bombed the people crossing the water,
Yeah, we did.
trying the drug cartel, basically.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You don't know what we're talking about. Do you? Does nobody ever fucking pay attention to anything that's happening on that actually affects us in the United States? That's fucking what drives me fucking up a goddamn wall.
Yeah.
So, December 14th, Trump put a blockade on Venezuelan oil tankers so that it cuts off their oil supply. He imposed a full blockade from Venezuela oil vessels to pressure the Maduro, something like that. And following a tanker seizure, the Venezuelans' defiance raised fears of naval clashes, which I think is a bad fucking idea. Because
Yeah.
you don't touch our fucking boats. If you ever know anything about our history, you don't touch our boats. And don't try to play with us in the water. That's a whole fucking
No,
idea.
they should have learned that day one. I mean, just their little boat going across the water blew it out of the water like it was a rubber ducky in a bathtub. It was ridiculous. It was like, okay. And then they're like, oh, we're going to fight them. It's like, do you not know the comparison between our military and yours? If you tried anything, you would be obliterated like a flea in the back of it.
Oh yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I know a couple people that were on one of the ships outside there, and it's a fucking interesting thing. They tell how it's going on, and they definitely have never been on ship life before, and it's fucking you can see it,
Yeah.
and like they're like things are getting weird. It's like yeah, they do get weird on ship, man. Things get real weird on ship. So it's one of those things. But the stat for this cuts out 800,000 barrels a day of oil exports for one tanker that got seized prior. Yeah, yeah, fucking great. I loved it because it's like that's a lot of oil. That's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking oil. And my thought process is be like, you know what, just seize the oil and bring it back here. I'm just saying, look, man, back in the day, like when we took stuff, when we seized things, we didn't give it back. We said, nah, bitch, it's ours. Things like that. But, everything with politics now, I can see that going back to them eventually if they,
Yeah.
find a peaceful resolve. I think they should just say, we're going to take half your fucking oil. I'm more extreme on it because,
Mm.
there's too much instability there. There's too much instability in a lot of places, even fucking here in the U.S., and it bothers the fuck.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you've been noticing that, but like at least around here, gas prices have been going down a lot.
They
Just
have
it was like when I first moved here, it was like around $3, and then now it's at like 280 ish. So it's
280. That's not bad.
yeah, so it's pretty decent, a lot different than what I'm used to. So,
I think
but
the gas price for me right now is 224.
yeah, that's 224 in
Mm-hmm.
Texas. Wow.
But we kind of hold oil here too, you know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So it's one of those things. It's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So the effects of this may increase the fuel prices kind of a little bit here because some supply this that some supply distributions, you know,
Mm-hmm.
go through other countries, and people think we get it directly from like Afghanistan, things like that. We go through other countries too for oil too, because especially since they keep mandating that we can't drill here ourselves, which I get it from
Yeah.
the environment standpoint, but like offshore in the Gulf, like just go do it because the Gulf is fucking nasty, dog. It's nasty water. You don't want shit from that in the first place, you know.
Mm.
Your oil is 380 there. Fuck that.
380. That's crazy. But then
Yeah.
again, go live in California and you're gonna be thanking for that 380.
Let me see what is the oil price of California right now.
Hey, Nemesis, thank you so much for that raid. We appreciate that.
Of California. Let's see here. $4.34 a gallon. That's the
That's
average.
okay.
That's
That's
not
not
horrible.
bad. I thought it was higher, to be honest, because it used to be
Yeah.
like 7 or 8.
Oh yeah. I get that. Nemesis, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, dude. We're rating you. I see that, man. I see that. How's your games, man? How was actually not games? How's your model painting going, man? Hopefully it's going well.
Nice.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does the Warhammer models, man. They're fucking cool as
Oh,
shit.
Warhammer. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm waiting for.
he put in the Discord in the IRL section.
It's really
It's
cool.
good. Yeah.
One of my coworkers was getting into that. He was just starting to get into that board game because it's a pretty expansive like board game. It's kind of like D&D where it's like huge, like it's just boundless, like, and you can have like a whole room, just the floor
Mm-hmm.
being like a war simulation. It's crazy. Warhammer is a really expansive lore and books, games, movies, all that stuff.
Painting's going well. I'm getting close. I'm getting closer to being done. Look, I hear you say that, but I know it's actually your hobby and you enjoy it so much. So there's going to be more. There's always going to be more. Don't say you're
Yeah.
almost done because you're going to be like, I'm done with this one. I want more. You know,
Yeah.
I want to do something, or you're going to go into something else. You know what I'm saying? It's never one of those things of I'm done. You know, where was that? Oh yeah, the effects in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to bolster Trump's Latin America policy.
Mm.
It's going to influence migration again, even more so, because it policy puts us at a fucking another threat that we got to worry about. And I
Yeah.
know people are always against stopping immigration and migration. So if you do it the legal way, go for it, man. Do that. But if you come into the country in a way that's not through the legal system,
Mm.
don't do that because like there's acts out there for it. There's the asylum acts, things like that where you can come
Mm.
here like emergencies. Yes, it takes time. Not saying it's immediate asylum, but there is acts out there for you. But unfortunately, most people don't have that. And I'm going to be on the other side of the fence too. It's like they live in some shitty fucking environments, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm just like cartels, anything like that. People that want to rob them, anything, do
Yeah,
whatever to
third
them.
world countries, all that. It sucks, but that is the world, Most of the world is not a pretty place to live in, There's places here and there that are really nice, And if you're lucky enough to be born in them, then, count your blessings and do the best you can in that environment that you're in.
No, absolutely, man. It's you try your best in the environment, like even like certain areas in the U.S. Man, they look at it and like some people like, oh, you wouldn't make it in the ghetto. I was like, oh yeah, I know I wouldn't. So it was. I'm a fucking farm kid, dude. That from the sticks. Like I know I
Yeah.
will never fucking make it in the fucking ghetto.
Yeah, I'm
It doesn't
good.
work. So first off, anybody who knows me knows I don't already act typically like somebody from the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
I know they also know that my vernacular, how I walk, how I talk, how I do everything, even the simplest thing of how I dress, don't work so well for that. And like I get seen like from like 4 or 5 blocks away. They
Yeah.
know like he's an outsider. He doesn't belong here. I don't fit in with that crowd in the first place. So and I'm not mad about it either. I
No,
don't ever want to
definitely.
fit in there, and from my own
No.
point of view, but it's just one of those things, man. You just never know. So, December 15th, the U.S. announced $11 billion sales to Taiwan.
To Taiwan, huh? Because
Mm-hmm.
they are in conflict with China, right? That China's trying to actually take over Taiwan, are they not?
They still are here and there, and it's one of those things where they're doing it in such a dumb way. And like I look at it like, man, if they actually leaned into it fully, they could probably take it. But then they go straight into conflict with us,
As I
other
say,
places of
okay.
yeah. So they could take it. I know they can.
Yeah,
They have the possibility of.
they could easily invade and take over, but I'm guessing there's things that would prevent them from doing that because of us being involved with Taiwan, and we would see that as an act of war on us as well as that as Taiwan. So then it'd be a conflict of interest, basically.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. It's one of those things that I kind of laugh about because like I'm a big history nut, especially like military history and stuff like that. And when I see things like that, I'm just like, some people just don't learn from Japan. That's all I go
No,
in
they
my
don't.
head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody's dropping nukes down on people's heads anymore like that because everybody has nukes. That's a big power play. And everybody
Yeah.
that doesn't have nukes is trying to get nukes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things. But yeah, so U.S. approved a massive arms package to Taiwan, including missiles, radar systems, and to counter all the Chinese threats that's going for their homeland. And so they're intensifying regional tensions as Beijing condemned it as a provocative interference. So yeah, so they're saying that we interfered, even though if you look at U.S. history, we've kind of supplied a lot of fucking guns and everything like that to a lot of countries during their wars. Like this
Oh
kind of
yeah,
it's kind of like the family business here. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
We are merchants of war. That's how we make a lot of money. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Ukraine. Ukraine is a big thing, you know. Ukraine wouldn't be Ukraine right now if we didn't get involved. Russia would have completely taken over Ukraine if we did not get involved.
So the Ukraine thing is it's a strategy move. Like I get politics is all strategy shit,
Yeah,
but I think it was who was it? I can't remember if it was Obama or before Obama. I think Obama and Putin they all sat on to agreement and saying because Putin said he wanted to go into NATO. And they said, "He'll think about it." He's like, "I'll think about it," and he's like, "I don't think that's going to work." And then Putin said, "Okay, cool. As long as none of the other countries around me can get in NATO." And they said, "Oh, we can do that." And then, like, I think it's like a year or two later, they put them in NATO. And then Putin's like, "Okay." Then Biden's the one who put them in NATO,
yeah,
put all of them in NATO. And then Putin's like, "What the fuck is this?" And it's fucking crazy how that happens. It's like, you know, no matter how much everybody hates Putin, he's a fucking extremely strong fucking leader.
yeah,
He's not only has fear, he has love of his people. He has people that will do fucking go to lengths that the normal military won't do just because it's him asking. Like
yeah,
he tries to bolster his country more than outside countries, and that's a fucking great thing in my opinion because most of your people are you're trying to take care of most of your people. And some things he does are extreme, but I don't
mm-hmm.
I don't really find much issue with that most of the time because when you think about the weight of your whole country relies on your decisions you make and everything you're going to do. So if you fuck up majorly, they know it's not them, it's fucking on you.
Yeah,
So, because it's your choices. We don't really have that here because we have like checks and balances, things like that. Yeah, the president. Everybody says the president's the most powerful person in the United States, but he still has checks and balances to go through before that.
yeah,
Can he implement like certain acts and laws that make sure he does have the full say so? But they don't. They really don't do that.
yeah,
Nobody's claimed martial law yet. So it's one of those things that everybody's afraid of all the time here. Like he can't take control. He can, but he's not. You know, that's a double edged sword. So you do it, you take control, you control it all, then you look at it it's like, okay, cool. When I get done with this, there's no other fucking enemies anymore. Another thing that I'm fucking fearful for my country for that I need to take control for, the people themselves are going to fucking resent you so much.
yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be one of those things of it is what it is. It's kind of how it works. I hate to rate and run, but gonna go see the Eli Young. Oh, Eli Young band's great, man. That's a great time. I've seen them twice. So yeah, I saw them when they were first up and coming too. So yeah, dude, enjoy yourself. But yeah. So like, I think it's kind of funny because we kind of like told Putin that yeah, we not have Yin, but we won't have nobody else in either.
Mm,
And then everybody comes in and it's kind of like, I'm like, man, y'all better just slap him in the fucking face. Not once, but fucking twice with the NATO thing. Because he tried to come back in NATO again.
yeah.
And they said, no, we don't think so. And then they say, don't let Ukraine join. I can't remember if it was Biden or Trump whenever that happened. And then they brought Ukraine into NATO. And then all hell broke loose as you see what happened today, Yeah, got that Dr. Pepper, homie. You know me. But yeah, it's crazy because out of all our countries who we consider great threats and enemies, the one that I worry about the most is always going to be Putin.
Yeah.
Because there's rumors that he might have a tumor. There's rumors he might be like dying soon, things like that. I'm just like, so this man who has nuclear power and has a strong hate, I mean
Mm,
hate, for all these other countries because they show they're weak, might have a break or health crisis, and he might just push the fucking button because there's no checks and balances in fucking
yeah, there isn't.
in Russia. Oh, we got a C4 here, Cotton. The peach one.
Peach C4.
Yeah, I bought 2 cases, so I didn't have to go to the store to get them anymore. But yeah, like I like Putin as a leader for his people. I think some of the things he does should be implemented here in the U.S. No matter how you fucking look at it, how you say it, I don't give a fuck what you think about me for saying this, but I think that a strong country should be a strong country, not pander to the fucking weak every fucking aspect of their fucking life, especially not fucking here for this. They're not here for us. Being good and kind to other people is a good thing, but when your own fucking people aren't thriving, should you be helping everybody else? That's a question for you. Should you always help everybody else when your own people are fucking suffering and not doing well? Your own
Yeah.
veterans aren't. No, fucking homeless fucking people, things like that, especially the ones that are homeless for doing the right fucking thing, working their ass off and still losing, because that does
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, when you look at it at a point of view, you can see that he's a very smart person. What he does is wrong, at least my perspective. Like a lot of the things he does to other countries is wrong. It seemed very, it's a dictatorship, and those flaws with that, obviously. But he is a very smart person because he is. I mean, how long has he been a dictator now? You
I
know,
can't.
30 years.
Something like that.
I mean, he's doing something that's working. 30 years, not a lot of people stick around for that long. But yeah, what I see is him, he is a bad person. I'm not like, yeah, I like Putin, he's a cool guy. But he is at a leader, a strong leader.
Absolutely. He's completely strong, and that's what I love about him because he does some great things himself. He's been president of Russia for over 21 years. He started in 99. So yeah, I think it's funny they call it presidency, but they do what they do.
Yeah.
It's their thing. He is not a communist though, but he's independent politician. Putin is an independent politician. That's what he calls it. That's
Yeah,
what they
he's
call it, independent politician. So cool. So he's Russian conservatism with statualism and nationalism. I knew he was nationalist. I knew he was a nationalism. Like no matter what, I knew he was. But like I said, man, people hate on him because he's such a strong fucking leader
yeah.
and everything. And you agree? You said you agree. Where the fuck did that chat go? You agree, NJ? Yeah, yeah. Like I said. I enjoy the fact that he's strong for his people and everything. And I enjoy the fact that he will put his country above everybody else. I love that no matter what. And I will always love that because we kind of need that here. Like most other countries need that here, especially they're one of the leader countries, one of the top of the board countries that actually, first world countries. Yes, we need to help other people, but if you're not helping your own, I'm beating a dead horse saying this. what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you got plenty of issues here at home that needs to be fixed before we go out and put money to other countries for things that don't need to be looked at or needed to be experimented on. You know, things that
Exactly.
are just endless, like supplies of, you know, as much as I hate to say it, it's like when you're giving food and, you know, hospitality to third world countries like in Africa that just constantly are being stolen from all the time. Like they get raided. We'll give them supplies, and then a month in, whatever supplies are left over, you know, the warlords in that area will come in and just steal the shit. So it's like, oh, cool. So we're just supplying shit bags. Cool.
Oh yeah, well, it's not just the shitbags. So there's a lot of good people from these other countries, and they're very wholesome. But
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, not every fucking person's kind or nice because people have had to do things for survival.
Yeah.
It's just different, you know. It's all it is. It's a different
Mm-hmm.
things, a different mindset, it's a different game, and no matter what you do, you'll never understand them until you're in those situations yourself. And you can try to like feel for them and be like, I want to help them. You can't do that without understanding what they've been through.
Plus, yeah. Plus, like you said, there's too much shit going on in our own country that needs to be worked on before we go out and help others. So it's
Exactly. And like
it's
I know a lot of people say, you know, I'm harsh on that, but I'm not. Like I don't give a fuck about other countries until like we fix our own problems. 'Cause, like
I
I will be
yeah
there for them. Like I'd be there supporting for them as much as I can, but I'm not going to give up everything for myself to help someone else when my own people aren't taken care of.
yeah exactly. And like NJ said, there, the Canadian government donated $2.5 billion to Ukraine, while people in Canada are going homeless. That's the same thing here in America. We spend so much money there. But then we have a huge, you know, veterans that are homeless here. Other people. I mean, look at California. There's a huge population crisis issue with them with their homelessness there.
Oh yeah,
Way
100%.
too many homeless people. There is a lot of people that need to be helped here. Because like yeah, there's going to be some homeless people that are homeless because of bad decisions. That happens with everywhere. But there's a lot more people that just had a rough patch through other situations that don't have control over, and they never got the help they needed.
Oh yeah, and I think it's just one of those things that's just always going to bother me because like I get foreign aid, I understand it so fucking much.
Yeah,
But fuck, man, like there are people here who actually sacrifice to protect this place and do make
yeah,
sure everybody can have whatever freedoms to choose and bitch, whine, complain, do whatever you want to do with your lives for it to just, you know, basically be wasted on people sometimes. Like
yeah.
it's their choice to waste to use to waste their choices and their opportunities. But come on, man, like some people like need help.
Yeah, especially veterans. You know, if
Exactly.
there's no veteran on this country that should be homeless. They should be able to have a decent living, especially if they served from a tour or two. That's a lot of time you put into the country protecting it or serving it,
Yeah.
whichever way you want to see it. How you want to see it. They definitely should be taken care of. At least have the basics of life. You know, a place to live, food in the fridge, basic necessities covered.
Yeah. I'm not saying like, you know, give them a handout. I'm saying like give them something. Give them something better because I know there's a lot of resources for vets. I know there is. I had to use them myself before. But I had to dig. Like I mean fucking dig to
Oh yeah.
find that. So yeah, it's crazy. Yep, go to waste. Oh yeah, 100% people, 100% they go to waste all the time in NJ. It's one of those
Mm,
things that people because it's the entitlement that I think people have a problem with. No matter what, they believe they're entitled to everything because they feel like they should. Not the fact they earned it, not the fact they sacrificed for it. Just because they're alive bothers the fuck out of me a lot. But yeah, I will digress. We'll go back to what we're talking about now.
yeah.
Well, shit, I'll go down a rabbit hole if I start talking about that, man. But yeah. So we sold arms to Taiwan. China's not happy about it, and you know, we just kind of said, "Fuck you." We're still gonna do it anyways. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, China's gonna retaliate probably. You look in the future and raise the tariffs on their stuff, like you know we've been doing. We've been playing that game, and unfortunately, the only people that suffer for that is middle class and lower.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You like to
it's gonna be
poke
a
the
fantastic
bear
time.
back and forth. Every side does it. It will poke the bear. They kind of push the boundary a little bit more and more.
Yeah, well, I get it, but I wish things were more like before we had modern technology, where it wasn't like over internet. It wasn't over Zoom call, basically meetings and fucking what is it, counseling meetings and things like that, where they sit in an office and this video chat. And I wish it was like, you got to talk to this motherfucker face to face and show that you mean what you say.
Oh yeah.
Put some conviction behind that, not just a fucking email. You know, show some real strength.
Well, yeah. You'll see that from time to time too when there's actual like in-person meetings. Was it Mexico? There was a government hearing, and I think one of the government officials was talking. I don't know. He was saying something, and then the other one started throwing hands, and they were just throwing hands at each other. And then eventually, they actually stopped fighting. But they actually got, like you said, put some conviction behind their words. Like they said what they had to say, but they also threw some punches to kind of push their ideals forward. But sometimes that has to happen sometimes.
Let's go back to fucking Civil War. Politicians used to be real men.
Yeah,
Things like that, man.
it's way
They used to
different.
fucking bro. There's fucking some stories. If you don't know history, U.S. history stories from like how politicians used to be, how why people actually fucking backed them.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna do something on some of them because they were real fucking men. They weren't these bitches in the office just sitting there like, oh yeah, my assistant knows this. They'll tell me this important. They'll give me a folder. No, they went out and dealt with people. They went out and dealt with people. They knew what was fucking struggle were, and most of them came from a lower tier tax bracket. On top of that, like if you think about it, how it is today, it came from that. They grew up. They made them something of themselves. Made a reputation.
yeah,
Went on. A lot of them fucking were military kind of guys.
yeah.
So yeah, it's different time frame, man, and I miss people like that. But yeah, next one, December 16th, Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon and Hezbollah disarmament push. So yeah, Israel conducted airstrikes on Hezbollah positions in southern Lebanon, hitting residential areas, causing explosions that tore through homes, leaving civilians with severe injuries from debris and fire. This amid international pressure for Hezbollah to disarm by December 31st under a ceasefire. So yeah, they told them to ceasefire by December 31st, and at the pace it's going, I don't think it's gonna fucking happen. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm,
They keep going back and forth with this, and it sucks. It sucks, and especially for the people that live there that don't have fucking shit to do with it. They just want to live their life.
yeah.
So it sucks being stuck there. Like it sucks you're born there in that spot. But I know there's good things about those places. But man, I wish they could go out and go to war like they used to do, like conventional military wise. What if you're gonna fight, do that. But it's not conventional militaries doing this shit. So it's frustrating. I have a lot of takes on both sides of this because um yeah, there's a lot to unpack because so many people here are Lebanon positive, but they don't say the negatives of what's been going on in Lebanon either.
Mm,
The reason why there's so much infighting, the reason why there's so many people actually dying, the reason why people are fucking losing their fucking homes, and it's frustrating because I get be prideful where you're from or your heritage, but don't be a fucking idiot because you fucking think that overrules everything else going on in life because the world keeps spinning and you can support one thing but nobody's gonna make you do it. So it's one of those things. Like there's bills right now, man, that I think it's called anti-Semitic bill acts or something like that, and
mm,
it's fucking pisses me off. It's like, so freedom of speech isn't a fucking thing, yay. So you outright say you're against that sort of thing, then you could go to jail.
hmm.
I was like, wait,
And
for
this and
saying
it,
something?
and this is in America.
Yep. They're trying to put that bill in America right now. I'm looking up. I forgot about it until I just started thinking about it.
That's not going to pass. That's because it's, I
You
guess,
think
your
that?
First Amendment. So it's
Let's see here. Here it is. I found it. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. Yeah. God damn it.
yeah. No, I get having ideals and what you want to think is okay, but you can't force people not to have other ideals so long as it doesn't interfere with your own life. Like it's and this act is going to affect other people's lives if you force people to not be able to think what's on their mind and say what they want to say. It's kind of like the whole racist people. So, some KKK guy comes in, he's saying all these crazy things. Obviously, me and you are going to agree that's kind of freaking crazy. I don't agree with it, but it is your right to say what you want to believe, so long as he doesn't act upon anything besides his words.
Yeah, I think differently of that. And I know it's going to be a hot take. I know people are going to say, what the fuck's wrong with you because you're black? I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's
I
what,
never will, because no matter what, it's what they fucking think.
well, that's
Fuck
what I'm
them. Let them
saying.
say what the fuck they want
That's what
to.
I'm
Fuck it.
saying.
Like, it's
Say
might be.
it's your freedom of thought, your freedom of expression, freedom of speech. So long as it doesn't go past that. So if you start taking people and hanging them by trees, then yeah, that's an issue. That's different. But you can think what you want to think, and now we know who you are as a person. So most people are going to avoid you now because you're acting a little crazy.
Oh yeah, I know, man. It's one of those things that, like I said, it's somebody's gonna literally say, like, why can't you, like, if somebody says that, I lose my shit. It's like, it's just fucking words. If they're not really physically doing anything to you or affecting your life, really, fuck it. Let them fucking spew their fucking garbage. Let them fucking be fucking,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
racist or whatever, or negative. Fuck it. What's the fucking worst that's gonna happen? They're gonna say it, and you could be like, cool, bro, and walk away. Nah, fuck that. Oh my god, I'm gonna go down a fucking rant from hell right now. But yeah, like, it's one of those things, like, when you're like, I can take it like further, because so many people are so secondhand offended so much, is if they're so secondhand offended, I want to ask one time, do you listen to a rap song explicit version in your car by yourself and say every word?
Mm.
Yes or no?
I never say the N word when I'm listening to a rap song.
When you're in a fucking car by your goddamn self.
No, I
And
always
nobody would know.
I catch myself, so I always catch myself to not say it, even though I want to.
Listen,
You're in the you're in the listening to the song, it's going along, and you're like, hold on, here comes the word, but then I stop. I don't do it. But that's
no,
just
that's
me.
not.
That's just
That's
me. That's just me.
not real life, bro. Fuck the fuck out of here. Exactly, Tricks. Exactly. No, fuck that. Yeah, I know they say it. I know you say it. I know everybody fucking said it once in their life. It's a song or something, no matter what. So no, that's why I say it doesn't matter. It's just a fucking word. It doesn't dictate a fucking thing. If you fucking let it empower the word, then guess what? You just are fucking, an idiot and
Yeah,
soft and sensitive. That's all I can say.
I love old school rap. Ease rap. That's my jam right there. I like that stuff because it's very emotionally driven. I want to say more aggressive tone to it, more of the times kind of feel. That's why I like it.
Tricks, I'm gonna ask this. Can I put this up on the screen? Because that's wonderful. Because you make a valid point. Just yes or no? No, because I don't listen to rap. I mean, if you don't listen to rap, you don't listen to rap. But there's always a fucking song that you're like, you say something, you're like, somebody, you wouldn't say it in public. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things. Tricks, can I put that on the screen? Yes or no? Because, like, I wanted to, I know you don't give a shit, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Like, every fucking time we are recording or live or anything like that, I fucking get fucking messages off the fucking back. Thank you so much, Tricks. Appreciate you. So, Tricks here is being real. Sorry, bro, but I'm not going to not say it. When Tupac says it, it changes. Says it changes. Exactly. 100% right. See, thank you, Tricks. Thank you, Tricks, for being fucking upfront. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're being honest here. Like, it fucking happens, It's a fucking song.
Oh
Fuck it.
yeah.
You say the word. If you're in the car by yourself, you don't gotta look around. see if somebody's there. It's not like you're sitting there like saying the most racist, heinous black joke with your friends. It's just a fucking song. That's what I'm getting at. Like people are too fucking sensitive over fucking words. Ugh, sorry, I forgot where I was going. I just stopped using slurs a few months ago. My buddy and my cousin say them twice as much now. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
We had a podcast on this, like words of affirmation, words of sensitivity, bullshit like that. Like people are sensitive to words, and I said every fucking one of them, and I
Yeah.
didn't feel bad. It's because I don't have any fucking meaning for them. I was like, they're just fucking words. They're part of the fucking language. They were put there for a reason. Yes, they might have been bad reasons back then, but we're in 2025 right now, about to be 2026, and I constantly fucking hear people bitch all the fucking time about that word's offensive. Quit being a fucking pussy. That's all I got. To be fair though, where I'm from, we say all the time it's just common lingo here. I mean, I get it, but that's where you're from.
Mm.
But most places they say things like that, but they hide the fact they say it, and they're afraid because they're super worried about what
Oh,
every
yeah.
fucking body fucking thinks of them, instead of letting their character or their substance of themselves show what they are.
It's kind of
Fuck
like,
that.
yeah, it's kind of like the it was a couple of years ago where Joe Rogan said the NWA, but he said it out loud, like the whole actual words.
What, niggas with attitude?
Yeah. So
Bro, it's
he
just a
he
fucking word.
he said it out loud, referencing the band name, and then people actually got upset with him, and actually like there's like millions of people crying, and it's like, what are you crying about? He didn't say it as a racial like driven like word. He was saying it as the title of the band. That's what it is. That's the name of the band.
I have a question for you right now on that one. What percentage of the people that were upset were actually truly, I mean truly, can
We're
narrow
actually
down
upset. Yeah.
narrow down their lineage to being family members of slaves? Can track it down. And then show that they were still affected by it to this day.
Oh, yeah. I had no
Give me
idea,
that
man.
stat. Because if it's over fucking 25%, cool, I'll give it to them. But I guarantee it's fucking not. So fuck them and their sensitivities, no matter
Yeah.
what. So absolutely fucking not. So no, because that secondhand offense bullshit. Because most of them, and it bugs me up the wall. Because me and me, Jimmy, Calvin, all of us, even Crow and some other people, like we'll fuck around with each other. Even Tricks, we'll fuck around with each other all the time. And
Yeah.
guess what? Racial humor's there. Get the fuck over it. And somebody who doesn't know anything about it or the dynamic of it will get fucking offended randomly.
Oh, yeah,
And
it's
I will
hilarious.
literally stop what I'm doing, look at them, and say, quit being a fucking pussy. Nobody asked for a fucking Captain Save-A-Ho. Get the fuck out of here. Don't fucking deal with it and don't fucking do anything with it. But yeah, it fucking drives me up a goddamn wall of anybody who's super fucking sensitive on fucking wordplay. Oh god. The issue is when people use it in a derogatory manner, but the problem is that the black community is divided on this as well. There is a lot of infighting on this exact issue, as well as a lot of issues pertaining to the black community and culture. Dave Chappelle is an amazing artist that showcases this quite well. Oh, I agree with that. I
Yeah.
100% agree with it. But like I said, that's why I said what I said is,
Mm-hmm.
can you actually track down your lineage and showing that you're affected by it and this is a problem still today, or that you are somehow still dealing with the problem of the effects of slavery from these words, not them people doing just the fucking wording.
Yeah.
Can you show me that it's actually holding you down, stopping you from fucking accomplishing anything in your fucking life, or actually making sure that you're held down? And it's not the fact that, maybe you just aren't as smart as the next guy, or maybe that you didn't put in effort like everybody else, or maybe you just, anything. Like,
Yeah.
like there's no excuse for it. In my opinion, like if you look at it from a logical standpoint, there's no excuse for letting fucking words be a problem to stop you from anything. I say almost every fucking word in the goddamn dictionary, and somebody has a goddamn problem with it. Well, I think there's an issue. There's an issue of identity for one. There might be. There possibly might be. But whose fault is that though? Whose fault is it that there might be an issue of identity for that? Is it everybody around them? Is it themselves for not holding themselves to a certain level of knowing themselves or knowing who they are? Or is it society's fucking fault because they're, coddling people and
Oh
not
yeah,
letting them be better in some aspect. I mean, it's it's both, right? I mean, it could be. It probably is both.
yeah. There's a lot
But
of
like,
elements to it.
no, man. Like, it drives me up a goddamn wall, man. Because I hear it. I see people do it, like in real life, streams, content creation, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up and quit whining and just do what you're doing. You're doing good shit, but you gotta come out here and cry about it
A lot of the times,
because
yeah,
yeah,
a lot of the times they try to look for an excuse for the issues, and a lot of times, especially in those kind of communities, they put it on like those kind of terms, so it's like an easy like scapegoat in a sense. And it's annoying because it's just an excuse. It's not like, a lot of the times people complain that like, oh, I'm stuck in this environment, I can't get out of it. But there's plenty of examples that people have gotten out of it and made a really good life for themselves. It's like it's on you to either just sit there and it woes me, or say fuck this and actually put your time and effort into actually making your life better. Getting out of, if you're part of, the hood and you're part of gangs, or if you're just having a crappy, like, lower income issue. There's so many variables and so many things, but a lot of the times it's just excuses.
it's a problem. I know. I know. All right, cool. I got it. Say they're victims of circumstance, their environment. Say they're in the fucking ghetto. Say they're in the hood. Say they're fucking, they join gangs because most people join gangs for protection or to be part of something or things like that because it's been studies done to show that people tend to do better together even in a fucking chaotic environment, a shitty environment. That you want to be near people that will keep you safe and protected. That's just people in general. They always do that. They do it in friendships. They do it in groups, things like that. And it's one of those things that nobody fucking wants to state, but it is. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I get it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. But the same difference is no matter what, they still fucking do it over and over again. Like I could say the same thing in the fucking military. Like, there's a group of people that don't like the military is a moving machine, the cog, and it fucking still keeps going with or without you. There's always a group of people that don't fit. They do their
Yeah.
job well, sure, but their mindsets aren't there fully to say, fuck it, we're gonna get the job done, then do what the fuck I want afterwards. It's just like any other job. Like you do what you need to do, then after you're done with it, just leave the fuck alone. Don't worry about it. Don't keep thinking about it. But they don't fucking do that. They keep harboring on like this person was not the way I wanted him to. So he didn't, respect me the way I wanted to. So what did you do to get that? Trix, I saw your message. I gotta get to it in a second. But yeah, I gotta read this now. God damn it, I hate my fucking thing. And no, I'm trying not to get canceled because I know myself. I will say some things, and I will definitely not be on the internet ever again for a while. Like, okay. Like, okay, look, here's the deal. I'm Native American. I know you are, but no one would know unless I told them, right? But that's because I also fervently believe that there's no such thing as a true Native culture anymore. There hasn't been since that the last Native tribe stopped fighting against frontier America. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same about Black culture and the Black folks who have accepted that seem to thrive more than others. Yeah, I get that, man. That's true. But I also feel this way about immigration, right? Like, why immigrate to America if your goal is to have America be like the country you came from? That is true,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Like, no matter what, that's true. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're right. Like I said, it's a hot take. It's how we are. It's like we say our standpoints. It doesn't matter. Get the fuck
Yeah,
over it if you don't like it,
that's
or
the whole
just leave.
point. That's the whole point of our podcast is we're saying, yeah, we're going with some, like, we got a lot of facts, but we're also saying what's on our mind, what we kind of believe in through our perspective on life and point of view.
Absolutely.
Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Doesn't mean that you have to even stay here and listen. You're more than welcome to stay and talk and engage, but you're more than welcome to also just leave too if you don't agree with it and don't want to engage with us. No one's forcing you to stay and listen
Absolutely.
to it.
Yeah, nobody has a gun to your head saying you have to be here. And that's why I always tell people if you don't fucking like what I have to say, you don't show up. Don't ever come here. And if you have a problem with it and you want to actually have a conversation about it, have the conversation. But don't get mad if I fucking fact check you.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Trick's made a lot of fucking valid points, and that's a lot of it's how I feel. That's just like, god damn it.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh,
The whole Native American thing, like he said, a lot of Native American tribes are not really natives anymore. Really, they're basically just husks of what they used to be on
I don't even think they're
reservations.
fucking husky anymore. They're keeping some of the traditions alive, but there's nobody out
Yeah.
there that can actually say, was this how that was really done back then?
No, of course not. No, there's no true Native American tribe going from, because a lot of tribes they migrated a lot. Like the Apaches that I'm related to or come from is they were migrants from Arizona to Nevada. And they just kind of went in a rotation where the herd would go through food, and that's how they survived. And it's a lot different from today because reservations are kind of just like it's almost like their own personal like graveyard in a sense. When you go to these reservations, it's not a fun place to be. It's kind of depressing
Yeah.
unless you go to like a casino where everyone's rich, then it's like different, but it's still like it's endless cycles. Like the real Native Americans that stayed positive, got out of the reservation, did something with their life instead of just staying there and just crying about
He's talking about them casinos, baby.
it.
Oh no, I'm Blackfoot Confederacy. I don't even know what that is. I don't know much about Native American history or culture in the first place. Like I don't. I'm not even gonna lie about it. If I don't know it, I won't say anything about it. Do I
Yeah,
like
black.
applaud them because of some of their stuff? Cool, but
Yeah,
don't know much. I know I have Native American in me. I know I do. Don't know which one because I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter.
camouflage. A lot of the American military uses their camouflages based on our understanding of tech of camouflage we used back then. They kind of took it into effect into their kind of things because we were how to say this, we were proficient in hit and run tactics.
Yeah,
We
but
blended
that
into the environment and just hit the military so well.
that only works so long though.
Oh, of course, yeah. We got outplayed by technology and disease.
Yeah, but Trick, she said something that literally I've said so many times. I believe people, especially the black community, you're gonna fucking love this. I know this already. Have fun with this one. Um, Black community, they keep saying everything's black culture and something like that. But if you think about it, coming back from I can't remember the date exactly, but from when slaves were taken and sold and traded and everything like that from Africa to here, you kind of lost your culture,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. You didn't have it anymore. You didn't have your stories and everything that the children, everything that it didn't pass that down fully. Because if you did, then myself would have been had something passed down from that time, from my grandfather, my grandmother, my
Mm-hmm.
great grandmother, my mom, things like that. Didn't happen at all. So that's why I literally know this is gonna fucking get the fucking hate. I don't care. Fuck you. Do your worst. Fuck it. Hit the report button. But black culture in America isn't black culture. It's fucking American history and American culture because guess what? It was fucking severed when you came over here on the slave ships in the first place. You
Mm-hmm.
lost it during those slave years because it didn't get passed down the right way like it should have been through there. Because you go to somebody from Africa and talk about their culture and everything like that, they can fucking sit down with you and talk to you and lead you down that fucking path of where it came from and how it came to be.
Oh, yeah.
What can you do here?
No, it's
Tell
completely
me how
different.
from right now to Africa where your culture is.
It's
Do it.
you can tell too with like it because they're so different culturally in like their own perspective and their worlds. Like here in America, you talk to a black person about like let's just say a gay person, they'd be like, okay, cool, whatever. Not really, they don't really care. But if you go to Africa, why are you gay? That kind of thing. It's such a huge difference in like culture
And the
and
thing is,
difference.
the moment somebody asks that question or ask any questions, they don't fucking they don't understand the concept of just being curious, just trying to understand,
Yeah,
and they take that as an attack
yeah, exactly.
because they're weak-minded bitches, no matter what. Oh, give me a second. Well, there's underlying culture, right? Some aspects still shine through, like food recipes, etc. They do, but That's not what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I want like actually the stories. Like, tell me like family histories, things like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, tell me like where your family came from.
Yeah, a
Actually,
lot of
without doing that fucking was that genetic fucking thing that they do.
23andMe or
Yeah,
whatever,
that
or
thing. Without doing that, can you tell
ancestry
me?
family tree.
Yeah, that stuff like that. Can you tell me your family tree?
Yeah. A
Things like
lot of
that.
the a lot of
Like
the
a lot of like other cultures can't do it either.
yeah, no. A
So
lot
it's
of them
not like I'm
can't.
bashing on just one culture. I'm just saying like it's just like they make it professionally like it's the fucking most important thing. I'm like that. So you being a decent person isn't important either. Cool. But
Yeah.
the fact that you say that they stole this from our culture is important, even though we're in America where it's a big ass melting pot full of fucking fuckery and like people differences and trying to be better, or how it used to be at least. When they started, coming together at a
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah, a lot.
there's nothing but a social divide constantly now because everybody wants to be fucking special. Everybody wants to be fucking different. Which if you want to be different, but don't fucking want a fucking grand spectacle for it. But if you go back far enough, all our ancestry originates from primary areas. Oh, they do. That's the thing about it.
Oh
They
yeah.
really do. I know they do. And I'm not saying you're wrong about it. I'm just saying I'm talking about today. How people like to bitch and like to cry about it. And I know I'm probably sound like I'm bitching all the fucking time right now. I just realized that, but guess what?
They're
I'm
bitching
making
because
some
they're
valid
bitching.
points. I'm bitching because they're bitching. Exactly. That's who I am. I literally will. But
Well, it's true though, because like you said, it's like uh, when you ask like any person, really, a lot of times they can't really tell you. Well, especially in the black community, like they can't really say, "Oh yeah, my family came from Kenya or some other African country." They don't know. But where it's like, someone like me, I can go far, pretty back in my heritage. I'm Irish, French, Canadian, a little bit of British, Native American. Like I can actually call out like where I came from or the family roots came from at least. But a lot of the times, a lot of cultures that are here after sixth generation, fifth generation, what have you, they don't even know. They're just like, I don't know. I'm from America, basically. It's like, yeah, because you kind of lost your ancestral roots, and now you're just American.
do this. Cool. It didn't pop up on my reel. I was gonna pull this up from what
Uh,
Trick said. But yeah, that's from Tricks. Was online culture right? Some aspects still shine through, like food recipes, etc. For instance, jambalaya is a modified recipe of wumbaya from Tahuti area in Congo. Yeah, I got it. And like a lot of culture was definitely lost. I do get that, but like I said, like I do know that it's just frustrating.
mm-hmm.
It's frustrating. It pisses me the fuck off so much because I've had to hear this so many times when I'm diving through things just to fucking get like a glimpse of like, maybe they're fucking onto something. And then I hear their reasonings. And then I'm like, okay, cool, you fucking lost me. You lost me because you're spewing the same shit that I'm trying to avoid. I'd just rather have somebody that be very factual, be very upfront with me. Yeah, cool. We vibe together. We vibe together. If we don't, fuck it. It's fine. I'd still rather have a conversation and have something different to give me some kind of education. I know most people aren't like that. I'm aware. I've come to learn that a lot. But it's frustrating hearing people whine about the same thing over and over again. How did we get from Israel airstrike to fucking that? Fucking damn near 25 minutes of me fucking ranting.
Just
Jesus
talking.
fucking Christ.
That's how a
Oh my
conversation
God.
goes sometimes.
Yeah. It's whatever. Trix, I appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Who else was there? Wheeze, you as well. Thank you. And you as well, Savage.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
God damn, man. Let's see here. There. Cool. Yeah. So back to the original topic because I know myself. We're going to be stuck here for 2 hours if we don't stop. And you got work tomorrow. So yeah. I think there's a difference between slave era issues and civil rights era issues, though, right? Like, here's the thing: 20 or so years after slavery was abolished, it seemed better for a while. It did. It really did. And a lot of people are going to contradict that and saying, no, they didn't because of the issues and that and the other, because they were affected, because people thought them different. But a lot of the rivalries between races stemmed from World War One. Yeah, they did.
Mm.
And I think it's funny because you look at like the history of World War II, like the ones that got sent over there, like they made all black units, things like that. But then some started integrating here and there, and some started realizing that all black people weren't bad, and but nobody wants to talk about that or have that conversation. Even after that, I can't remember which war it is because I had it in my head and I fucking lost it. I don't know. It's not Vietnam. It's what was it? It's one war specifically, and like this guy's like 100% racist. Like he admits it himself, and then he had a black guy in his unit, and the black guy saved his fucking life, and he didn't understand it. This was further complicated by World War II, by Hitler defining racial characteristics. Oh yeah, I know, I knew that. I definitely knew that. It's just there's a lot to take back from that. Like you can actually learn from that stuff too, man. And I enjoy learning the differences on certain things, and I enjoy learning, especially history, man. I
Mm.
love it so much because you can't do anything about it but learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, then just what are you doing? And I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. I put that the wrong way. But yeah. I appreciate y'all's contribution to this conversation. Remember, you can talk if you want to. You don't have to be afraid. We'll talk if you have something to say about this stuff. But we're gonna go back to the standpoint. Thank you, Trix. Appreciate you a lot, dude. Fuck it. So Israel airstrikes in Hezbollah, you know, during the push when they're trying to get them to have a ceasefire by December 31st. Don't think it's gonna happen because this happened December 16th with the bombing and shit like that. So it's not. I don't think it's gonna happen. That's just my honest opinion. I hopefully it will, so that civilian casualties so that it stays down low. Don't think it's gonna happen. But only 10 people were wounded this time. That's not bad. You are having a problem with your mic.
I smacked it by accident. I apologize.
Jesus fucking Christ. But 10 were wounded in the airstrikes. Like I said, low number for the amount of damage done. They should be happy. The death toll for Lebanon so far now surpassed 3,000 deaths since October 2023 related to regional deaths, included over 70,000 in Gaza.
That's wild.
I have my own personal standpoint on that, but we ain't gonna say that right now. But yeah, actually, we will say it. Honestly, I think we should just, one day, if we ever got the power to, get all the civilians out and everybody wants to fight over it, fucking build a fucking wall around them and just let them fucking fight. And then we deal with who's left. That's just it. I know people are gonna say that's fucking wrong. I mean, we're fucking trying to fucking help people have asylum and not be dealing with these dumbasses anyways that constantly fight over this shit. But yeah. Can we talk about why my ceiling has that stupid popcorn look? Yeah, man, we can a little bit if you want to. But that's just my thing, man. I think that they should just, everybody that wants to have a fight, what the fuck were you thinking in the 90s? I don't know, man. I don't know what we were thinking in the 90s. Dude, there's a lot of things in the 90s that if you don't realize it, that I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Furby. Look at it. Just look at it and just think of the guy who made that. It's like, what was he going through? Was he on acid? Was he just high and just made this fucking drawing? It's like, and then look at it now. Like an original Furby right now, if you look at him, like, just look at him. This is like, it's this little figure, furry, ears like that. Yeah, we're going to make that.
Is a gremlin just a cracked out Furby?
Absolutely not. Mogwais, because that's what they were before they turned to gremlins. Yeah, that's what they were before they turned to gremlins. No matter what, swear to God, people like to fucking blow my shit up whenever we're fucking live. No matter which live I'm doing this, doing just gaming, just talking, whatever, interviewing people, like blowing phone up. I'm free all fucking day. God damn it, I'm on a fucking schedule too, bitches. Like, come on. Y'all don't want me to read y'all's messages out loud and be like, you know what, since y'all gonna be part of this shit, no, I'm busy, here you go. We're gonna put your shit out there for everybody. We don't tell your name, but we're gonna say what's happening. You gonna know who you are. Yeah, Cotton, that look. What's up, JP? How you doing, dog? But yeah. So the potential effects for the US on this one. Shit, I lost my place. I don't care. What do you mean you don't fucking care? You're talking about me like putting your message out. I know you don't give a fuck. You put your standpoint out no matter what, man. That's why I like you. Because you're not afraid to. And if it's too far, I just delete it so nobody else can see it. I know you're going to fucking be like, no, bitch, I'm going to put it out there anyways again, over and over again. But we ain't doing that right now. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Unless you just give me on another fucking rant. Now, God, I hope you don't. because I had spent like 30 minutes on the last one. But yeah, so potential risk for this shit: oil prices are going to spike up for the U.S. I already know that because it is what it is. Um, you know, politics, bullshit like that. I think the U.S. is way too close to Israel.
Oh,
No
of
matter what.
course. There's too
Like
many.
that bothers me so much because you look at like their history, like the world history of Israel. It is fucking a problem.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
some bad things happen. Yes, if you look at everything, then tell me your judgment on was things, were they all right to do or were they not the right to do? Like you'd be like, I kind of got a problem with that. Might have broken glass for once. If you look at that, look into the depths of what was burned. Jesus Christ, I'm not starting this right now. Anyways, so yeah. So Trump's testing Israel support versus Arab relations. That's all it is. So we're gonna see how that works out. We don't know. One that I find really interesting that I like the most, honestly, and have a problem with at the same time. December 16th. The Rome subway artifacts discovered during the destruction of it. So the construction of Rome's Metro Line C, they found particularly new Colosseum and Venetian stations. So, like, archaeologists unearthed ancient Roman artifacts, which are now displayed in the stations like museums. The discoveries included items from wells integrated into the archaeo stations that opened after years of delays. So yeah, so there's 28 ancient wells. Motherfucker. Sorry, my mouse likes to do whatever it fucking wants to today, or any day. So there were 28 ancient wells discovered, hundreds of artifacts, including hairpins, phallic-shaped oil lamps, if you know what that means. Construction spanned 11 years for the Colosseum station. It could, like, the only way it can affect the U.S. is literally the fact that it's just going to increase tourism if you're actually interested in, like, things like that in history. It's not a horrible thing, I like that kind of stuff, things from the past,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And Trace got something for me. He said rant incoming. Okay, cool. Around 700 or 400 BCE, the coast of Jordan, Israel, Egypt suddenly became devoid of life. Cities were found abandoned, and to this day, they don't know why. I've read this. I can't remember where the fuck did I read this about. I think it's been a while though. But yeah,
I'm not
that's
surprised.
that don't understand why. Don't know. I really don't know on that one because yeah.
It's kind of like well, not as extreme as that, but what was it called? Roanoke? Yeah, Roanoke. The town of Roanoke, where the people were coming here to America in the early years, the colonizing years, and they went back to Spain. I think is where the actual captain went back to, and then when he came back a few years later, yeah, Roanoke was just completely abandoned, void of life, no one there. There was just a tree where the town used to be with the word Roanoke in it, and they found some tribes that had some colonizers like equipment, but not enough evidence to really support that like the tribes came in and killed them and ate them or something. So to this day, no one knows what happened to Roanoke.
Yeah. I don't understand how things like that happen.
Mm.
Like I get like, if an outside force has something to do with that. But, it just I don't know. And then the waters in life being like
Mm.
withdrawn there, like for like, off the coast of Jordan, Israel, and Egypt, like things like that, like those interest me because I don't know. I want to know how, because like scientifically we can make that happen, but it takes a lot of time and skill for that to happen. Oh, where did that? How did that happen? Because that's weird. And
Mm-hmm.
now I gotta fuck you, Tricks. Now you're gonna fucking make me look this shit up and try to figure out something. I hate you right now, like a lot. It's like Jesus Christ. Yeah, Roanoke thing. I don't know, man. I don't believe in like supernatural shit. But like that's something like a whole town just disappearing and then like there's a tree with the sign in it. I'm just like that's the
Something
closest thing I
doesn't
could
add up.
say that maybe there's aliens, maybe it's magic, maybe Bigfoot came out and took everything and just said we're gonna we're gonna
This,
demolish this
yeah,
whole fucking village they have here and just take all the fucking things and just let people take all those scraps of what's left over. I don't fucking know.
yeah. The two biggest theories is that it was either, like you said, aliens, which is what I would think would probably go with, like a plausible thing, like aliens came in and they just kidnapped them all, or it was zombies. Actually, is what an idea that came through was there was suggestions of zombies that migrated from Roanoke, but they were never located.
Yeah, I see you laughing at their tricks. Fuck you, motherfucker. You guys should read Andy Weird book, Hail Mary. I'll put it in my list. DM that to me because I know I'll forget later. Is believed they migrated from Roanoke, but they were never located. Yeah, that's a thing. It's gonna be a movie in March. Okay, cool. Yeah, just send me the book in the text because I know I'll forget. I know I will. It's gonna be a movie in March. I might watch that if it's like closer to the book. If I like the book. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of books I don't like. I just read them just so I can get finished with them. Yeah, the biggest thing I think besides the attack in Syria for me, I think, was the Bondi Beach mass shooting. So it's
Mm,
being called the Bondi Beach massacre. That right there pissed me the fuck off so fucking much because
mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends who are Australian. It's literally not far from them either. And I'm just like, and they're all veterans too, for the Australian military, things like that. And yeah, so, a 24-year-old man and his father executed an they say anti-Semitic shooting because it was on the first day of Hanukkah when they're lighting the candle at Bondi Beach. First thing I would say is why they do that, but it's one of those things. I don't understand, Hanukkah, but I understood that, it's the lighting of the first candle. They do it all together. It's a big celeb community-based thing. Cool.
Yeah.
I have nothing against that shit.
No.
But yeah, I have a problem with these two men that decide to do that. So they went about killing attendees, including a young girl who was shot at close range, which pisses me the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Survivors recounted graphic scenes of blood and panic, with one victim disarming a shooter. I saw the video on this one. That
Yeah.
was really good.
Impressive, yeah.
Despite being wounded, ISIS praised the attack without claiming it. So everybody keeps saying it's ISIS or Islamic State, that whichever one you want to call them. They say it's ISIS who was orchestrating it, but they didn't claim it. ISIS is known. Like they don't care. They will say we did that. We're behind that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stats on this one were 15 killed, 40 injured, and the perpetrators faced 15 murder charges and 59 total offenses, including 40 for grievous bodily harm. So there's a lot of charges if they catch them. How it's going to affect us, no matter what, is it's going to heighten domestic terrorist alerts. So it's going to raise the threat level again.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because they claim it as a hate crime, it's going to put more pressure on it. Things like I said, like the anti-Semitic bill or whatever awareness acts, things like that. It's going to put more pressure on it to get that stuff passed if it hasn't passed already. The problem is that Australia has good strict gun control laws, but the problem with gun control laws is that you fucking basically handicap your fucking populace to
Mm-hmm.
not be able to defend themselves fully. To simply travel from your house to a range or to a hunting spot, you have to take the bolt out, ammunition separate compartment, take the bolt separate compartment, put the gun separate compartment, and bolt the gun down. So many fucking steps to go one direction. They don't have constitutional carry, they don't have concealed carry, nothing like that. Unless you're law enforcement or military, that's the only way you're gonna have a gun, really. Or you're a fucking criminal, or you just choose, fuck it, I'm going to carry it anyways. But if you do, I think the max fine is, you think it's automatic prison sentence if you're caught without it like actually stored the right way that they want you traveling.
Yeah.
So it's fucking weird, and it's not by like their whole country. Every state in Australia is different laws on it. So yeah, like one state is like you don't have to have it bolted, one do. And if you're a fucking resident or got your gun licensing from one of those places and move somewhere else, you still have to go by the place where you got your licensing.
I'm kind of intrigued into reading the history on Australia, really, because it was a penal colony. It was basically a bunch of prisoners from Britain, or was it UK in general? I don't know if it was just Britain or if it was from UK, as in United Kingdom, Britain, Ireland, Scotland. But either way, it was basically just an island full of prisoners, and they became their own independent country afterwards. So it's very interesting to see like the transitioning. I kind of want to read up on that. at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one with Australia in the next 3 weeks.
Mm.
You
And the
won't be here because I know because time zone magic and the fact that you sleep at the hours that we're awake.
and the emu
Yeah,
war. The emu wars.
God,
That
I fuck with them so much about
it's
the emu
so
wars
fun.
all the fucking time
The
because I'm just like,
caliber
it's not once either. It's
twice. Wow, it's because the
yeah,
caliber wasn't strong enough to like shoot. Because the emus have thick hides, so the calibers at that time wasn't strong enough to penetrate the skin and their durability. So
yeah,
they
dog.
literally just got overwhelmed by animals. It's just
I
like a
just think it's funny because he's like, I don't think America can handle the emu war too. He's like, yeah, we can. We got 5.56, bro, and 308. We got big calibers here. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I got a 50 cal, motherfucker. So what do you think? Can't fucking penetrate that? He's like, why do you have that? I have an FFL level 3. He's like, why do
mm,
you have that? Because I want it.
yeah, right. It's America.
And
We
then he
get what
asked
we
me, he's like,
want.
where are you from and where do you live right now? So I'm from Texas and live here. He's like, that makes sense.
The heartland of America.
I don't know about the heartland of America, but we are definitely something in America. I don't know if we're
The
good or
sec
bad.
that the center point for Second Amendment.
Yeah,
I'll give it that.
bro. I think it's funny because I thought about this the other day because somebody said, "Oh yeah, all the guns are registered." I was like, "No, they're not." I was like, "What is it? You you do know there's private sellers, and then there's also people who can get guns because they're passed down. They're transferable guns. People don't understand what transferable guns is. Like there are fully automatic weapons that are transferable,
Yeah,
and because they were before what fucking war was it? It's one of the wars. And because your grandfather passed it down, and then they
yeah,
passed down, and then they can just literally sell it to whoever because it doesn't fit inside that fucking law. And I think it's fucking hilarious because people are like, oh, we're gonna get all guns off the street. It's like, cool, you think so? So yeah,
yeah. It's not possible.
there's also like shadow guns. You know, you just build the gun yourself, no serial numbers, no nothing.
Yep, ghost guns. Yeah.
Ghost guns, yeah, there you go. Ghost guns. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know why my brain's going fucking everywhere today.
Nah, you good.
But yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like gun control never happened here. Not the way that they think it's going to.
That's never going to work. It's too part of our culture. You would have to do a landslide across the country from left to right, top to bottom. Every single person get rid of
Yeah.
every single gun, and that's not going to happen.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's going to
I
be an
get
issue.
that. I get that. The contention between wanting weapons and not wanting weapons is age old. Oh, it's 100%. It's so old.
Yeah.
But it's saying one of those things is, I ask people, I'm like, I'll ask you in chat right now. It's like, if you don't want guns for every fucking person who constitutionally should have them or who's warranted with them, who's a lawful citizen, just lawful citizens. Let's just do that one, not anything else. What? Why? Tell me why. Because we will have a conversation about that, and we'll go back and forth about it. Because don't. I don't have anything else but time. And two, I would like to know your standpoints on life after we had that conversation. But yeah, that's about it. The only way no weapons becomes actual viable is if the world becomes one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good standpoint.
You're always going to have bad people, regardless of how good the intentions are going to be. You're going to have people that are going to get loopholes to finding weapons too. So it's not like you're going to be able to like get rid of all the legal weapons, and now you're stuck with just a bunch of people that have illegal weapons, and now you can't defend yourself because all the legalized weapons are taken.
I have a question for you. Cause I know your fiance's take on it.
What?
Am I getting in trouble? But still. So y'all are buying your house, stuff like that, and you're
Yeah.
getting married and stuff like that. Are you gonna have a gun in the house? Yes or no?
Gun? No. But I got plenty of other weapons I can easily use to take out people.
It's just a question. Just a question. That's it.
No, I mean, I don't know how I would feel personally with a gun. I would have to use one on a gun range first to be able to know if I can handle a gun properly and not have mental issues. Because it's interesting, because for me, sudden loud sounds actually makes me kind of like jump. I don't know what it is. It's certain things that like if it's sudden and loud, and guns are loud and they are, I mean, you know it's coming, but it's still sudden. So I don't know how I would have to see it in a gun range to see how my mind reacts to it, and I would just get used to it anyways at some point. But
Honestly, um, for that, I would say go to the gun range 3 times a week just to be there. Wear your ear pro, shit like that. Just be there, be around it, so you get used to acclimated to just hearing the sound, so you're not shocked by the sound. Because you'll have different calibers going off, different rifles going off, different pistols going off, things like that. Some people might have an automatic weapon too. You never
yeah,
know. Don't know, because sometimes some of these ranges are, you find some cool ass fucking guns. That's all I'm gonna say.
oh yeah, I actually see the beauty in these tools, because that's what they are. Guns are tools. There's an extension of humans, and we use them as a tool to do defensive or hunting or protective things, or even just straight up murdering people. But that's all based on perspective.
We're gonna put this back up there again because you said that the only one way no weapons become actually viable is if the world becomes one, and then we're gonna put this one up there. We're gonna make it longer. Cool. If you don't want the world to become one, then you're kind of working against your own species. But either way, I'm here for the ride. Tricks, you're fucking awesome. And he said after that, I'm rooting for Fallout. I'm rooting for Fallout. It's great. Love that, dude. But
And
yeah,
it's like the same thing, but then again too, it's like I would have no problem using a knife or a baseball bat or a bow to defend my house, and that's actually kind of more personal, like a knife
you
or
say a fucking bow?
yeah, perfect down a long hallway. You just shoot an arrow
Look,
through someone's throat, they're dead, they're done.
I, I, I have a question. Have you ever seen like actual trauma victims have like things have that happen? Like things go through people. You think they're dead?
No, they're struggling for quite some time. It's not like
So
if you shoot someone in the head, unless I hit them directly in the forehead, then they might die right away. But
so from personal experience, especially when adrenaline's going, when somebody's doing something like that, they're amped up. Their adrenaline's going. They're not gonna fucking feel it at first.
hmm.
But if you're doing a fucking bow, how are you gonna reload it that fast? They're charging at you and you fucking miss your goddamn shot.
Oh, that's the thing. You're not. That's when you have a knife on you.
You know what? You know what? You know what? I try my best to be fucking nice and
Hey,
sometimes
listen, I'm going with
that's
the roots
fucking
of my
dumb.
culture. I might just die for it, but that's my culture,
Look, you're gonna definitely fucking die for it. Because 9% of the times they have a weapon and they probably have used it before. So they
Yeah.
probably have practice with it. Not saying that, they're out there, slicing everybody's throat, shit like that, or shooting people, but they probably used it before. They fucking know how to react to it, and their adrenaline's pumping, and you fucking miss your goddamn shot with that bow. Then you're gonna have a problem on your hands. It's not just your problem; it's everybody's problem after that.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's gonna not saying I'm doing. Before here's the disclaimer: I'm not saying I'm going to do this. But if I was breaking into his house and then literally charging him and he missed his shot, I will snap it. This bitch thinks she's gonna fucking take me out. I'm going to take him
Yeah.
out first. End of
It's
story.
it's not going to be very, unless you're a trained professional that can reload the bow within less than a second. It's not going to be practical. Native Americans are very practical with it, and they were trained so well to the point that we accidentally made the colonizers evolve guns to be automatic weapons. That's where it came from. Like revolvers before were, you had to pull back the hammer to shoot it. And then you're like, wow, these Native Americans are actually faster with their bow than we are with our revolvers. So they made it so you can literally just pull the trigger and just shoot really fast.
Well, they were semi-automatic before they were automatic. They
Well,
weren't
yeah.
automatic until they started bringing out bigger guns and they started condensing its size
But
and
the
everything like that.
idea of it, yeah, the idea of it though came from that because Native Americans were so fast with it, it was ridiculous. Now I'm nowhere near that level. I can shoot a bow pretty fast, but I'm not that level. And like,
Exactly. They used it every fucking day though. That was part of their life. And
well, yeah, like,
tricks. Bro, I shot. God
yeah,
damn it. Bro, I shot a deer in the nuts with a gun. It dragged his butt for 75 yards before it stopped and practically begged me to kill it. Guns are no more accurate. They aren't, but guess what? If you
more
don't
rounds.
fucking practice with it and actually do it a lot, if
Mm,
you're not actually in it, like people ask me all the time, say, how much did you go to the gun range when you were shooting all the time? Like fucking almost every other day.
but
So I know. So you
It
also have to zero in your sights every fucking time you do something different grain of
yeah,
bullet, different everything. So people don't understand. People think that you get a fucking firearm and you can do, you can do like all these miraculous things because you get a pistol. Fucking dumbass. Because
I
you can't
think
fucking, if you're not accurate with it, guess what? You don't know, hey, you got to hold your grip like this. You got to actually understand the recoil, everything. Every gun's
I
different.
don't even
Every
think
one of
it's
them.
that. I think the difference is the amount of rounds you can put out with a gun is a lot faster and more than with a bow. So you can just
100%.
put more lead down the hallway,
Mm-hmm.
which
But
is
the same
not,
difference, I just tell people that if you're not accurate, you're not really going to range so that you get a firearm, just get a fucking shotgun.
yeah, that too.
And
But
everybody's like, why? It's
again,
like,
though,
because you're not accurate with a gun. If you're going to the range all the time. And then, two, people don't realize just because you sit at a target range all the time and shoot, you're accurate. Because guess what? If you're in those situations where it's like pumped up, amped up
mm-hmm,
adrenaline, everything like that, and then a moving target, completely different. And yeah, you're right, Tricks. It is the same with bow. I've shot a bow a good number of times, hunted with bow too. It's not the same. Like sitting there shooting at a target that's still, because you never know. Because especially if
yeah,
you're hunting deer, you could go to pull draw back and get ready to release, and the deer flinch and move. And I don't know if people know this, deer are fucking agile as fuck
yeah.
sometimes. So yeah,
But
it's one of the things. And fuck squirrels, by the way, with that.
at the
You
end of the
know what I'm
day,
talking about.
though, I would feel a lot more comfortable with a knife than I would feel with a gun, just because I've actually trained with them. If I trained with a gun, then yeah, I'd probably be. Plus, a lot of gun experts will also tell you this too. Is like after a certain range, a knife is a lot more reliable in a certain like closer range than a gun is.
I'm gonna tell you this from certain stories. I can't tell you from why, but
Yeah,
it's extremely personal. And if you don't have it in you, you don't have it in you,
yeah. The
no
person,
matter what.
yeah, it is extremely personal with the knife. I mean, it's it's almost like you're connecting with the other person. So
It's not just that, just seeing I don't
the
want to
look
say
in the
this without
eyes,
getting.
yeah,
It's just seeing the lights go out.
yeah, exactly,
And yeah, Trick, you're right. They are all tools. They are 100% all tools. And Brie, I see
yeah.
those things, and it was just irrelevant because it's common sense kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, uh, they all have their uses. All of them do. Like
Yeah.
it's a good thing to have them if you know how to use them the right way and you're using them for your own personal gain, not like nefarious reasons.
Yeah.
I said it's realized I've said personal gains. Like there's a lot of ways to use certain of these tools for personal gain too, but I'm not saying do nefarious fucking shady shit with it. But if you're doing it for like the right reason, like sport or
Yeah.
hunting, things like that, it's fine. Like, I
Well,
used to go to the axe range fucking constantly and it was a fun time. They were like, when are you gonna do this? I don't fucking never gonna use this in my life, but this is fun as fuck.
yeah,
Same thing with ranges.
it's interesting too because it's like for me, I have nothing against guns. I actually admire them and appreciate them. I went to a friend's house. What was it last weekend? And he has an M1911 from World War II. Beautiful, beautiful gun. He also had M1 Grand, and he had a few other guns as well. A snub revolver, a few other things, shotguns, stuff like that. And each one, they're different in their own perspective. Some are a little heavier than others. Some have a better grip. Some feel like a lot more easier to hold. He had so many different, a variety of weapons, and I can appreciate the different art styles to them, art forms to them.
Probably wouldn't use a bazooka in the hallway. It's fun as fuck, but yeah, the back blast, man. You gotta wear a back blast with anything like that. Back
Now,
blast all the time. And people don't
this
understand that. They think that, oh, I can just shoot it anywhere. No, motherfucker, you
no,
can't. So guess what? Something comes out the back too. But no.
this is the thing about explosives. Movies get wrong a lot of the times. Grenade is a lot more powerful than the movies make it seem. The only thing, you're lucky if you survive a grenade. I'll put it that way, because it's ridiculous how powerful a little handheld grenade is. The shrapnel is everywhere in the room.
It is. It's fucking great. Let's see here. Let's pull this up. Pull this up right here.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's nice,
M1 Garand is
and
definitely
the
a
sound,
very good versatile weapon.
the sound is so nice.
It's also a very good melee weapon. Just saying.
Yeah,
Some of the stories.
he had a bayonet attachment to his.
I wasn't talking about bayonet attachment. I'm just using the gun itself. That's a fucking
Uh,
mace, basically. It fucking that's a sturdy bitch. Because some of the stories you hear, man, and like we just ran out of ammo and just bashed people's heads in with it. Fucking phenomenal. They were different. There was a different time there. We're gonna snooze that because I don't fucking want to deal with that. But yeah, Bonnet Beach. We talked about that. Cool. In the last little segment here, so Ukraine and Russia still fucking going on, people. I know people
mhm.
don't see it much in the news anymore. It's still fucking going on. So yeah, there are some talks of peace talks going on right now for the EU summit for it. So the EU leaders met in Brussels with the Ukraine president Zelensky. If you don't know his name, that's who is the president of Ukraine, who basically stonewalled us for almost fucking, I think it was 6-7 months, saying, "Hey, yo, we'll give you what you need, but we need something in return because it's not charity work out here."
No.
So but yeah, his discussion was reallocating frozen Russian assets for Ukraine's defense, while Putin warned of further military advances if negotiations fail. So he said, if we negotiate and it doesn't go right, we're going to keep going. And that's all he said.
Mm,
A Russian drone strike the previous day killed civilians with bodies mangled by shrapnel in residential areas, which is my downside to Putin because he does not give a fuck. Like
yeah.
I get why. Like I said, I do admire the man because he's strong, real strong. He's not about fucking wordplay. He's not about the political games like most people are. He's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it. And everyone's like, no, you're not. Because they're so used to politicians and world leaders saying they're going to do something and they don't do it because, they don't have the polls behind them or the people behind them. He's like, watch this. And did it. But yeah. Luckily, only one person was killed in that attack. Thankfully for that drone attack. Very happy about this only one person because it could be worse. Because, drone strikes, drone attacks, things like that, you don't know they're coming until they're fucking right on you. Until it's already
Mhm.
too late. And usually you're already feel effects of it before you know.
Yeah.
So no, it's not one of those things. But yeah, 24 people were injured in that too, as well. It's one of those things. But yeah, that's it on that one. That's everything I got for the notes on what I wanted to talk about. Oh, y'all went down a rabbit hole with me. Y'all are fucking assholes, and I appreciate all you. But yeah, we were saying M65 grenade. They were mainly used to create shock. Yeah, shock and all. Yeah, I know they were. I like I said, I like the older generation of weapons because they were simpler. Not saying that it's the best weapons ever made, but they were very simple. You knew what they were doing, and they were very reliable.
Mm.
You know, I say that for a reason. But yeah, the mines, the bouncing betties, yeah, oh yeah, also work like a bouncing betty. Yeah, it did work like a bouncing betty. It would land in the dirt, and since it's it was pure he, yeah, it would sling charge of sand into your organs. Yeah, yeah, they were more crude, I would say back then with their explosives and things like that, man. And it wasn't. I don't think anything against it, like, but I go by the standpoint of to the victor goes the spoils most of the time, like all the time actually,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I believe and that's how it should be. But yeah, Trix, got a question for you because you've been very outspoken. You as well, Bree, you as well. But yeah, ask us some questions, personal standpoint questions, anything about what we talked about, anything like that. Just say it. Ask the questions so we can wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah, it's interesting how the world is just, it's ever changing, I guess. It's always
Yep.
something going on in the world, and it's always interesting to me that, like, people here in America have their ideals and they get very passionate, and then, like the Ukraine Russia thing, but then it seems like everyone kind of forgets about it and just moves on to the next hot topic at the time. And it's like,
People don't have the patience for it anymore. People don't have the wherewithal to want to learn, want to know. They don't want to know what's going on
yeah,
in the world that might affect us. They want to live in their fucking simple blissed life. We are eating, listening. Oh yeah, Tricks. Shoot me a fucking question. Shoot me a savage some questions. Like,
yeah,
random fucking questions. It could be about what we're talking about. It could be about anything. If you want to know our standpoints and stuff, just fucking ask it, man. Because you've been very outspoken today. I know it's because you're probably fucking, actually home relaxing for once. But yeah, shoot some questions. I'm patient enough to wait. Take your time with it.
It's just very interesting because it's always like they just all of a sudden lose interest.
Okay.
People will be flying their flags, etc., etc.
If y'all could implement one personal policy each, what would you implement?
Universal policy. Okay.
Jesus Christ. Now you gotta make me fucking think. Damn, Weiss, you came in
If
hot.
y'all could implement one universal policy each, what would you implement? Universal policy. See, that's a problem because it's like what I might perceive as good could be horrendously bad for the rest of the world.
Who gives a fuck? It's your policy. Quit fucking
Yeah, I
thinking about
know.
the rest of the world.
But
This is
I'm
literally our
Well, because
standpoint.
then I'm thinking of implications. Because there's also you can't. There's going to be implications on other things that one policy is going to have effects on other things on the world. Because you can't just have one policy that's just going to make everything else good. It's just going to have too many issues.
God, I know you didn't just come in here and ask, can you give Apollo a treat? Really, really.
Can you give Apollo a treat?
I can give him a treat after the podcast. He's not in here with the podcast. I'm trying to take this more
But
seriously.
let's just say, without trying to overthink it, one universal policy, huh?
I like Trix's food programs are actually consistent, but at the same time, is like, isn't that kind of giving people a crutch more than anything a lot? Because people take advantage of it so much. Like they have the capabilities to actually do stuff for themselves, but they get so reliant on things and get lazy. That's one of those things why I just don't. I don't grasp like how some food programs are still here today.
No.
Bree put something in the other chat too, but it didn't come through, so I'm gonna do it myself. Do this, but yeah, Weiss, for your question, let's do this. Sorry, it's gonna go out to everywhere again, but that's for Bree's question.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just need it for earlier. The issue is when someone hoards. Yeah, the hoarding aspect of it, true, but it's one of those things, man. It's not even the hoarding problem, in my opinion. Like, I get that does happen. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It's the fact of how do we regulate it to the point where someone doesn't have the power to hoard it. That's where I'm getting at on that one. But the policy I think I would implement would probably be. I know most people would say like something about peace, shit like that. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen in our fucking existence because we're humans. There's no way we're going to have full peace. If you think that's going to be possible, you're ignorant. But I think that one policy would be like no harm should ever come to children in any degree, and if it does happen to children, and it's a malicious or nefarious reason, that they should be put to death. End of story. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's a good one.
That's it.
I would say a good policy to have is that no veteran should ever be homeless after serving their country for, especially when they serve for a significant amount of time. They shouldn't come back and just be kind of forgotten about. They should be made sure that that's not happening at all. Because, like you said before, there are policies that are out there that are already trying to help veterans stay off the streets and stuff, but I think there should be more hands-on to guarantee that it doesn't happen at all.
Yeah. I get that, but it's not just the fact that they should be more hands-on. It's the fact that they should be more outspoken.
Oh, that too.
Because, like I said, I had to fucking search for a fucking while, about anything for certain policies. Like, to help homeless veterans, things like that, because I was homeless myself. And it was fucking hard, dog. The VA itself was fucking dealing with, like, I think this is the right one. And, like, how do you not fucking know? You were actually the VA. So, at the time, things weren't all organized as they were today, That's it. I think there should be more outspoken about it because yes, now they have a number. They have references here and there, like with homeless shelters, like actually working together about it. But when I was out and doing that, and looking for certain aspects of it, because at the time I had Apollo, so I needed a place where I could take my dog. And everybody's like, just abandon your dogs. Like, this dog's the only thing getting me through fucking life right now. Absolutely fucking not. So yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, Trix, my first policy is that I declare I'm the lord of the entire planet. Second policy is that land can no longer be owned by anyone. Let the battling begin. I love that. I love that. And Bree's question, I gotta scroll up to it. Okay, cool. Because it didn't pop up. So cool. This is her question. What do you think the main cultural shift in the Black community between the civil rights movement and meaning respect among the white community versus division that has grown in more recent years? I think it's kind of catch-22 kind of answer on this one, unfortunately. Like no matter what, because every fucking body's fucking different. They grew up differently. Like not everybody has the same mindset that I do or anyone else does. That's like productively trying to get better. But people stay locked up in their fucking little spots and zones, and they don't want to actually be accountable for their own actions. They always fucking blame something on them. Like I saw somebody who, how do I say this? I saw someone who's really one of the shittiest employees I've ever worked with, and they kept saying they're harping on him because he's black. And I'm just like, they haven't harped me one fucking time when I'm just doing my job. I'm not even going above and beyond. I'm just doing my fucking job, dude. It's a fucking jobby job. And he was just bitching about it. I'm just like, and I thought about it and paid attention. Like, they're not doing that because of that. And he literally tried to sue them for it. And I'm just like, okay, cool. And I talked to the person. It's like, oh, do you get mistreated here? Oh. So I do my job. He said, what do you mean? That guy is like, he literally just took a nap in the fucking bathroom every fucking day.
That's wild, yeah.
And I'm just like, he's like, wait, what? I said, yeah, they called him that. I said, yeah. I said, oh, I said, yeah, man, I know he got wrote up a lot. Just said, well, ask him. And then I told somebody else this, and they're like, oh, you should have been there for him. I was like, why would I lie for him?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're black too. He's like, I don't give a fuck about that shit.
It's also
no.
It's also interesting because it's like, back then during the civil rights movement and all that, it was separation because, just how back then people were a lot more racially or racially divided then in a certain perspective, like, the whites to the blacks. And now it's shifted in a different way where it's not separation, more segregation, where it's the blacks separating from or segregating from the whites. And there's a lot of how to put it, that kind of blaming modern whites as if it was back then, when it's like, okay, I was not part of that movement back then. Like I was not the one that owned slaves. I was not the one that was part of a cultural time of racisms back then. And you yourself were also not part of that either. So why are we acting as though that's like modern times? Try go into a barbershop, see how you're treated.
Fuck you, tricks. Fuck you, tricks.
That's really funny.
But you're right, though.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
It is true, though, because, like, exactly, though. So it's like, if you go into certain areas, people are going to look at you weird. And I see that from time to time when I drive to a town. Sometimes I have to go to one of the bigger cities in Delaware to pick up a mail truck to use for the day. And this city is heavily black. Like, and when you're driving through night, you'll see people looking at you, or me specifically, in a different way. Like, oh, look at this white guy driving through the town at like 9 p.m. dropping off a truck or whatnot. And they kind of give you that stare, that look at you, like, what are you doing in this area? As I'm just driving through. But it's like me, I personally would give two shits. To see you driving through the neighborhood, you're just doing your thing. Cool, have a good day. I can give two shits. I don't care who you are, as long as you're not breaking, vandalizing, destroying, hurting someone.
Yeah, dog. I just never give a fuck. Like, I get looked at all the fucking time. Like, and it's not like, and sometimes it's because, like, I'm in a predominantly white area. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. And I just, like, they look at me as whatever, and then they look at me again, like, is this motherfucker wearing fucking cowboy boots and fucking, like, what the fuck, and a buckle? And they just look at me weird. And somebody asked me once, like, where are you from? And I tell them, oh, from Groton, Texas. They're like,
yeah.
I don't know what that is. So just Google it. And they looked at it in the map. I'm like, what? That's a really small area. They look at it like, it's a really big area. It's a small town though, because it's just most of the land's owned by most of the families there. Yeah. They didn't sell out. They didn't fucking make it bigger. They just said, no, we have our little town kind of thing. So now I get those kind of looks all the time, and I laugh about it, man. Like, it's funny to me. Just people's reactions to just how I am or anything like that. Like, fucking Ninja once just had me talk on a stream one day. I think Cotton was there for that. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And I started talking to chat. It's like, can you guess his ethnicity? And somebody's like, everyone's like, we can't guess it. And that's like, he's like, they're like, I don't know. And then he showed a picture of me, and Thick Cotton's just funny as fuck. She's known for a while. I've known her for a couple of years. And she's like, wait, he's black? And I was like, yeah. Everybody was thinking that. I knew they were, because it happens every fucking time, because
Yeah.
they hear me talk, and then they see me. And
Yeah.
they're like, what the fuck? So it was funny as fuck. And then and then it's funny because Nidhi thought she was serious, and she's like, "Bro, I've known him for years." And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, and then just like, yeah, we rated you once on Twitch, and we've heard your voice or everything, and we saw you like some of the other people like he's black. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's funny that shock to people is funny as fuck to me. So yeah,
It's
Kenny and I were down in Cincinnati, bro. People kept looking at us weird, and this was like the whole day. Then around when we got into our hotel, I was like Katie, I think we the only white looking people around here, and then it suddenly all clicked. Yeah, it happens, man, and I think it's funny,
yeah.
but yeah, where
Well,
where
it's
the melanin came from is fucking crazy, bro. But
yeah.
I get it all the fucking time, and I fuck with my mom sometimes about this shit because I looked at her like when I was younger. I said, "Oh, am I adopted?" And without skipping a fucking beat, she said, "Yeah, you are." I was like, "Wait, what?" She said, "Yeah, you are." I was like, "Why would you say that?" I said, "I mean, look at you. You don't even have a black nose." I was like, "What?" And I looked in the mirror. I was like, "How do you have a black nose?" Didn't understand the reference. I was young at this time. Got older, and I looked at people's facial features. So that's like, she kind of got the point. Damn, she kind of got the
That's
point.
it's just interesting because like this, during the civil rights movement, it was separation, and now today I think it's just more segregation. It's kind of like they were aiming to get a melting pot, not care, and just have everyone just kind of combine into their own, just combine groups and cultures together to make a new one. But then we ended up just segregating into our own little, like you said, pockets, like our own areas. You go into the Bronx and then New York, and then you go into Boston. Then you have your Irish, and you have your Italians, and then you have people in different areas in different states, and it's very interesting because you would think everyone were just combined, but it kind of just didn't, and it went back to what it was. It's just separation to segregation. That's all it did, really.
Look, I'm gonna say it like this: is that if you want to segregate yourself away, fucking do it, but don't put any influence on other people. Do your own fucking thing. Fuck off. Go somewhere else. I don't care. You don't like fucking living here? Leave. End of story. Because no matter what, it's gonna keep going without you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing anything to change what you think is the horrible things that's happening. You're not doing something in a positive light to change that.
Yeah.
Because if you get sucked in a vacuum of negativity and people being negative all the fucking time, you're going to do nothing but be that negative source and be around it and everything like that. So cut that cancer out. Do something positive with your fucking life. Be a fucking, maybe not be a role model, but just be a decent fucking person.
Yeah.
Have your thoughts, your beliefs, whatever. Be a decent person. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Because I'd rather sit down with somebody that's a decent fucking person, no matter what their beliefs are. No matter if we disagree all the time or not. I do that and hang out with them. Then hang out with somebody that's fucking always blaming everything on something fucking
Yeah.
else. Fuck
It,
you.
yeah.
Get
It's
over
getting.
yourself and fucking do something with your goddamn life. Be negative all you fucking want to in your own time. Don't fucking come out here crying about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think people thought we were celebs or something because there was a convention around the area. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did go to that convention. Yeah, they might have, man. They might have been like, "Yo,
Who's this? Who's these white people?
which show, which movie, which show were you in, man? I saw you in that. I saw you in that thing. I saw you in that thing. Like, if you get one of those, man, it's fucking great.
Should have just
It's
said that
fucking great."
70s show.
No, that's too popular. You got to do something else. You got to name something like B tier or C tier movie list. Just like pop out the back of your head. I played this role in there, and they ain't gonna look it up. They're not gonna look it up. Most people won't do it. They'll just be like, "Fuck yeah, I met this guy. What's your name?" And give them a fucking random name and just run with it. And people are like, "Who the fuck's that guy?" You know what I'm saying? That's it. But yeah, I appreciate all the back and forth of banner. Weiss, you're great. Tricks, you're great. Thank you for the question, Bree. Thank you, Cotton, for being a troll and asking about can Apollo have treats. Go fuck yourself. He's going to get a treat later because we're going to walk always, and then he's going to get a treat when he come back in. So yeah, I was in different strokes. It's fucking crazy. Oh, that's great. I love that. I appreciate you so much. Thank you everybody for the night's podcast, day, night, evening, whatever the fuck time you want to go in. But I hope y'all have a fucking great time. We are out. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Actually, no, we won't. I have to lie. I lied just now. We won't because that's recorded. So yeah. Have a good time. Thank you for playing John the Ray podcast. Like, comment, subscribe.